Transformers issue 13. This was a fun read. When I first kind of flipped through it and saw that the Autobots and the Decepticons really didn't make an appearance in this book, I was sort of on the fence. But actually reading through it reminds me of something you'd watch in, say, like an Alfred Hitchcock film. The print date on this was February 1986. The writer was Bob Budiansky. Penciler was Don Perlin. Inker was Al Gordon. Letter was Janice Chiang. Colors was Neil Yomtov. Editor was Michael Carlin. And editor-in-chief was Jim Shooter. So we get a big star cast on this. The name of this story is called Shooting Star. As we open up, we see this guy running from the cops. And he goes, they're going to kill me. They're really going to kill me. Only a miracle could save me. Now, we think it's the cops at first. But now that we see, why would cops be trying to intentionally kill this guy? He doesn't look armed. We come to find out that it's not the cops at all, but rather gangsters. He goes, you fell and got your clothes all dirty. You should have stayed in the car, Joey. Ain't safe to run away. Not paying Lomax his collection money wasn't too safe either. The boss gets annoyed at people who steal, Joey. So he's like, please don't kill me. I need a miracle. I need a miracle. And so he finds this gun in the water. Now, I was a little confused because the last early Transformers comic that I read, I saw that, what's his name? Megatron was part of the clan. But apparently he's disappeared. So spoilers, if you've not read this, pause this, go check out the early half of the series and come back. It's all really, I believe in issue 9. Anyway, picks up the gun, and at first it goes click, click. And I just love how like, it's a dud, it's jammed. Who would have thought a wimp like you was carrying a piece? Aha! Figures this loser would have found a gun that's a loser too. But then, all of a sudden it goes, and he's like, wait a minute, what? So it's one of those things where like, this guy, just off the street, Joe Schmo, finds like a mythical monkey paw in a sense, because the monkey paw always where it kind of has your dreams come true, but there's always consequences. So that's what this sort of really starts to allude to in my mind, which is fine with me. I love stories like that. And then, an excellent old school storytelling style, we find out who Lomax is and how far his reach is and the power that he has, where he says, no one disrespects me. You should be giving me respect, not ulcers. Get rid of him. And so he's basically saying, if you boys don't get rid of him, I'm going to get rid of you. Now we cut back to this Joey character, and we see him walking through his hometown, where kind of his neighborhood where he lives, and everyone knows him. Joey, what's the matter? Walk right past and forget how to say hello to an old friend? Oh, I'm okay, Mr. Kim. I'm sorry. He goes, not healthy for you, nice young man, having so many worries. And so he tries to give him some food. He's like, no, it's okay. He goes, here, take it. And then all these kids throwing him baseball. Look alive, Mr. J. Whoa, how about a little warning next time? Here, catch. You can still fire like a rifle no matter what you say, Mr. J. And so we see that he's really liked in his neighborhood, but really down on his luck. And he has to run, obviously, because the mobsters are after him. And he comes to find out that this gun is a transformer in a sense. And spoilers, as I said, it is Megatron. But there's something wrong with him, and hence why Joey can wield him. And that's what kind of makes it interesting, because Megatron is not himself, and you're thinking, well, the leader of the Decepticons would never let this happen to himself. But because of the situation, Joey goes on a crime spree and gets to be known as the man with like the magic gun or something to that degree. And as he comes back into his neighborhood, I don't know, like weeks, months later, everyone he tries to talk to, Mr. Kim, the kids with the football, like, Joey, I did not expect to see you here again, now that you're a big shot. So what are your words of wisdom for me today? No words. Here, take an apple. Take anything you want. No thanks. Hey, kids, how you doing? And he's asking them how the football's going. Football's for losers. Yeah, there's more money in banks, right, Mr. J? How about showing us your super gun, huh, please? These kids are treating me all of a sudden like I'm Al Capone. This is a nightmare. Well, it's time for me to wake up. And so he decides to go on a suicide mission towards Lomax here. And so the book comes to a climax with him going against the mobster that he owes money to, in the way that he's sort of finally able to walk away with his head held high, and with Megatron walking away from him. It's sort of a bitter, sweet. But again, it's just one of those stories where you expect the Transformers, but it's just something completely in left field that was just an absolute unexpected, entertaining read for me, and I highly, highly recommend it. Like I said, it just reminds me of those old mobster movies from like the 50s and 60s and 70s where it just kind of come out of nowhere and you're just like engrossed and you can't stop watching because you're just wondering what's going to happen to this main character who's, for all intent and purposes, a sleazebag, but still you're rooting for him because in the sense the story, the narrative has made him the underdog. Of course, penciling old school artwork from Marvel. This is what it was like back in the day when they'd say, go to your local comic shop and say, make mine Marvel, is because of the quality that Jim Shooter expected from his artists and the quality of writing that he expected. Because I think it was, feel free to correct me down in the comments, but I think he said something along the lines of, if a comic didn't regularly hit 500,000 sales, it got dropped. Now that's not so much the case. But you see why so many books back in the day got canceled, but why there were so many books that were just elevated, i.e. John Byrne's She-Hulk, Fantastic Four, Chris Claremont's X-Men, and why those are still timeless to this day. So, highly recommend you guys check this out. If you have enjoyed what you've seen, please first and foremost support your local comic shop or wherever it is to get your action figures and comics, and grab this issue and this whole era of comics because it is just one entertaining read after another. And if you've enjoyed this review, really would appreciate if you take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. Helps the channel more than you could possibly know. And if you don't mind hitting that fancy little Decepticon bell, next subscribe. That way as I continue to upload content, you guys get notified. Come to the channel, and I love talking with y'all and hearing your thoughts and feedback down in the comments or the socials, which I'll make sure that the links down in the description. So with all that said, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, everyone.